welcome to this episode of That Woman. Okay, I'm here with Tope, aka Sincerely Tops. We've got Vanessa and Ronke. Right, so this episode is all about motherhood. I want to try and get to know you guys and what motherhood's about, you know. The first question. What was your reaction when you found out you were pregnant?
Well, mine was, I was a bit surprised because I didn't expect to get pregnant that quickly. So I was a bit surprised.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised, but pleasantly surprised.
As in because.
Yeah, because I'd come off the pill, so we were aware that I could get pregnant, but we were just thinking that, you know, there's that myth that it takes a while for it to come out of your system. So we just thought, okay, if I come off now, it might take a couple of months, a year to get pregnant. So we thought Sorry. Yeah, what she said. So like when I came off, literally the next month I was pregnant. So I was a bit like, oh, okay, all right. So yeah, pleasantly surprised.
Nice. I think, yeah, following on from Tope, I think that I was, yes, pleasantly surprised, but I was very shocked for a long time. I think even during the pregnancy, it was just like,
took you a while to get
I
back.
can't actually believe that this is happening. It was just weird to think of myself that I was going to be a mother, basically. I think everyone else around me was the same, so it was just like, oh my gosh, Vanessa.
Do you know what? I got that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, it's not very maternal.
Yeah, I think everyone thought the same. I was going to have kids or that sort of thing. So, but now she's a mum. Obviously, you do it. You have to.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh, it's by force. I think you love the child. But sometimes you're just not, you know, that way inclined.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I think for me, because I've always wanted to have like kids and loads of kids at that.
Anyway, did you want to have like a whole football team?
I wanted to have a whole, I wanted to have like
Five-a-side.
bare kids. Bruv, what's your problem? That same month, I kind of just got pregnant.
Girl, what kind of planning did you do? So with you guys,
so it was
sorry. Okay.
It's okay. Go.
Were you guys actually planning at the time to have kids? Were you like, yeah, now you know we're ready for a child now?
I think for us it was like it's something that we want in the next like year or so. So we were working on that assumption that it would take time. So that's why when it happened, like I said, like we just said, that's why it was a bit of a shock because I didn't expect it to happen that quickly. But the whole point coming off the pill was that to get pregnant, but it wasn't like we felt it would happen immediately. But we just felt within that year we were comfortable with that year because we'd compromised that we would wait like 2-3 years to start having kids. So but yeah, just for you girls that are watching, trust me, like that is a myth. Like that's not always the case. So come off the pill, you will get pregnant. Just that's just how it is. Or you can. Just thinking that you can.
And if I'm honest, as I was saying, when about the shocks thing, we weren't literally planning at that time, yes, to have kids, but it made sense because now I'm like, it's the best thing I could have done. Then, like, I wouldn't have wanted to start having kids now, so I'm happy that it happened when it did. And it's not something that we weren't planning because we wanted kids, of course, but because obviously we had another one so soon after. So, but
How soon?
well, it was. Well, how it happened was that when the first was 5 months, I was pregnant again. So they're 14 months apart.
Oh, they're like maternal twins.
They basically are. I mean, I get asked all the time if they're twins. They might as well be.
What myths or old wives' tales did you hear while you were pregnant or before you got pregnant?
I was told not to drink milk or she would get eczema.
Oh, really?
Oh,
that's a new one.
I've not. There's so many, and I don't think I heard that many actually. If you drink milk,
yeah. If I drank milk whilst I was pregnant with her, she will come. She will just have eczema.
Did you not drink it?
I drank milk.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
Okay.
I drank milk. I just ignored that.
I think we were saying before as well. Yeah, the heartburn ones. If you have a lot of heartburn, the
Baby
child's
will
gonna have a
have
lot of hair, and
yeah,
that's not.
There's no science behind that. No science.
Your child's gonna have hair. They're gonna have hair. They're not. I mean, they're not.
Yeah,
but it will come. So
I was told by everyone because of the way I was carrying and just because of my like attitude and just the way I was when I was eating that I was gonna have a boy. Literally everyone told me I was gonna have a boy, and then obviously I had a girl. So yeah. What else? Like I'm trying to think. Like I would get after I had her, I would get asked, oh, did I perm my hair while I was pregnant because her hair was straight?
Yeah. This is what Kelly used to say to me all the time. Even now.
Yeah. They're like, oh, did you perm your? I'm like, first of all, my hair's natural.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh, because I hair straight. I'm like,
it's like,
well,
really?
what does that mean? So
it's not like the relaxer can just come through the
yeah.
the umbilical cord into your hair.
But I think
you never know.
The main ones I heard was when I was trying to induce labour. So you had the things like eating spicy food, raspberry leaf tea.
Yeah.
I drank that a lot. Yeah, and walking up and down the stairs.
Yeah,
like I did that a lot. I think that actually worked.
It for a bit, and then afterwards my contractions just went down. It was just finished. So yeah,
I didn't try anything because they told me when they were gonna do it. So it's fine.
Yeah.
So what were your labours like?
Ooh.
Oh wow! Everyone. All right then.
Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll try and condense it. My one was I had a natural birth, but my water broke on Sunday morning. So Sunday morning, water broke. Went to the hospital. They were like, "Yep, your water broke and go back home." I didn't actually have her until Wednesday at 6:45. So I was in labour for like over 36 hours. And I did it without any drugs. Although the last, what was it? Like I think the last 10 or 15 hours, they had to like basically induce my labour to make it quicker and make it faster. So I had to have an epidural. I think that was the scariest part out of everything, was the epidural. Funnily enough, that was the scariest part. But when it was getting to the time when I was dilating, I told them to stop topping up the epidural because I couldn't you cannot feel your legs.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I supposed to push if I can't feel it? Like, oh, don't worry, we'll let you know. I'm like, no, that's not how this works. So I told them to stop topping it up. So around sort of like a couple of hours before I actually had her, feelings started coming back in my legs and I could actually start feeling the pain again. But I didn't care because I just wanted to be able to push.
Yeah.
And then when it came to start pushing, I still really couldn't kind of feel. And then what happens during labour, you're pushing, so everything else comes out.
Yeah.
So I don't get, So that's what happened.
Them ones.
Okay.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But apparently that's what happened.
It's just so quick. Just get rid of it.
They just literally like scoop it, throw it away, and then but when I had her, oh my god, the relief you feel.
Yeah. It's so crazy how it all just goes away.
And then literally whoosh. And I literally just went straight back like that.
Wow.
It was a lot. Like sushi came out, and then but yeah, that's pretty much my labour story. And then I had to stay in the hospital for an extra 5 days because we both got an infection.
Oh.
So yes, I was in the hospital for like 6 days. But yeah, what about you guys?
Well, okay, so I'll talk about my first, if I can remember. Anyway, I'm probably going to mix them up and blur them into one because, it was so close. Yeah, they kind of, I get confused. But I was induced on Boxing Day and I went in. It was really nice actually because I had a room to myself and my partner was able to be there and everything. So it was about a day it took. The pain was really, really, really intense. And when I came to pushing, the cord got tied around her neck, so I had to go into theatre. Yeah, so then we had to go into theatre, and they had to use forceps. And it was nearly a C-section, but on the last pull, like the doctor was able to pull her out. And Michael was saying how red the guy was getting trying to pull her out. Like his face was like, and he was like, oh. But thank God that she came out okay. What I will say is, I don't know if I should say this really from allowed to say this, but Queen's Hospital, don't go there. Don't go there. Have you been there? Did you go there?
That's where
Is that where you went?
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, you said.
No, but like both times, it just wasn't the greatest experience for me. Like I think the midwife was like telling me stories about people who had died during labour at the hospital while I'm in labour.
Who does that?
Exactly. Like, do you want to lose your job? Like, what? I don't understand. And then she told me that the lady next door, like her daughter, like her baby had just passed away, so she had a stillbirth. And I was just
I
like,
want to hear those things.
yeah. I don't even understand where it came from, why she was telling me these things. It wasn't even just that, though. It was just their lack of, like, they just were nowhere to be seen. There was no staff around. Like, you couldn't find anyone when you needed them. You're pressing the buzzer, no one's coming. It's just, I know there's a lot going on. I know if there's emergencies happening, you know, they have to go and tend to that. And I understand that, of course. If it was my emergency, I'd want them to all be there. But I guess it's just, I don't know, maybe...
No, they can do better.
Yeah. Well,
they
yeah,
can do
exactly.
better.
I don't want to make excuses because at the same time you still deserve that care. You're having, you know, your baby, and that's a major thing. So yeah. But in terms of my lady, yeah, I guess it was bad. But compared to now, I feel like my story, I just feel like compared to yours, it was just like, yeah, it wasn't really that bad. So it was.
You know what? For me, it was just more about the length of time.
Yeah,
because when you see movies, it literally just happens so quickly.
Yeah.
They lie. What they
Exactly.
You don't actually realise that there's quite a few stages to it, and then so that's what annoyed me more. I was just getting frustrated that things weren't moving in quickly enough.
Yeah.
So
no, yeah, I hear that.
Oh, mine was it's very interesting. So, she was almost 2 weeks overdue, and I was trying everything to, you know, get things going, walking up and down the stairs, which did help for a bit. But then they had booked me in for an induction, and I went in, and the midwife there, who was amazing, I don't even know her name, but it was at Queen. She was amazing. No, just wait. Just wait. Okay. She was amazing. She was just telling me to try and do it naturally. You're contracting now, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, this is good. So she told me to just go home. Like, they can't really induce me now because I'm contracting. So I went home. I was exhausted. And I was walking up and down the stairs. And I think when it got to like midnight, I was like, okay, let me just try and sleep. And I was expecting something to happen during that time. Nothing happened. The contractions stopped. And I was literally just like, what the heck is going on?
That's so frustrating.
I was so annoyed because I could feel something, but then I went to sleep and it all just stopped. So they booked me in for an induction for the next day. So I just went in and I had some midwife. That's when everything just kind of went. Like because I told her that before you put the induction drug in, let me know like if anything's happened, if I've like dilated a bit, or just let me know. She just stuffed it in. She just put
Queens. Queens, right?
Right. You know,
don't go to Queens then.
It's not a bad hospital. It's just, I think for some people, it's just.
I think somebody makes a difference.
I worked at Queens, alright, and
that's why you're defending them.
Sorry.
That's why why you do. That's
what
why.
I was wondering.
No,
sorry.
I know some of the midwives at Queens.
I know people work hard. No, I appreciate that.
They do their job. Like they do a good week. So, but anyways, so she stuffed the epidural drug in, and she literally stuffed it in. I'm being serious because it was so uncomfortable, and the way anyways. So she stuffed it in, and then I started contracting, and it's not a natural contraction, so it was forced, so therefore the pain was a bit painful. More exactly. Yeah. It's not like a gradual process, it's like literally bam. Yeah. You know, the pain just comes. So I started contracting, and all of a sudden I'm just hearing dee 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 dee, and then I just see bare people come into my room, and then what the midwife did was she just opened my leg and grabbed it out like that. Oh my god! Okay. And then they said that my daughter's heart rate was going down, and they just needed to take it out straight away to see how everything was going.
See, that's all part of the whole thing I'm talking about with this whole Queen. But anyway, go on. Sorry, continue.
Could they not have been a bit more gentle? Like
someone had been there.
I think they were in a rush.
How long after was it that it went in that they had to come and take it out?
Like an hour.
See? So no one was saying anything to you that whole hour. You just were left alone for that
They
whole hour.
came to like check the obs. And stuff, but I was just with my husband, and then the woman they just rushed in. They
didn't even announce themselves, just came in. Oh,
yeah.
No, but it was the midwife that was taking care of me. So I think I did it. Let me stop go into this accent.
And I guess we'd rather
Let it
do
flow,
it.
fam. Let it flow. Let it flow.
Oh Lord! But okay, so
Yeah.
so they took the epidural drug out, and her heart rate stabilized, and then I started contracting on my own, which was amazing. The pain was mad, but I wasn't even like past early labor, if that makes sense, and the pain was still mad because obviously it was induced. So so for like a good 24 hours, I was literally on my ball, just rolling around, husband behind me rubbing my back. It's okay. And then when the contractions come, you're like, oh, because it's just so painful.
Yeah, it does. Okay.
But yeah, so to cut the long story short, after 24 hours of being in labour or experiencing the contractions, I didn't count it as labour, but hey, they checked to see how dilated I was. I was only 4 centimetres. I felt defeated. I was like, what's the meaning of this?
After all of that,
is this what it? I was just like, Lord, please.
I just want to die.
I said, it's okay, please. And then they decided to to break my waters for me. I almost kicked the consultant in the face. It was peak.
Just thinking about it.
It was awful. Yeah. So anyways, they said that they're going to need to speed up the process because my waters have broken now. So they put me on another induction drug called Syntocin.
You remember the names? Yeah.
You remember the names?
I have to.
Mate, I don't remember the name of the midwife. I know they're quoting like drug names.
Well, I work in the medical field, so that's why
I was thinking.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess, yeah.
So, but then my friend who actually works as a midwife, a research midwife at Queen's, she sat me down because I told her I didn't want no drugs, no nothing, and she was just like, I'm just going to leave this epidural hand sheet with you because you're going to need it. And I was just like, no, I'll be fine. No, I'll be fine. She said, no, you're going to need it because the pain is going to be 1,000 times worse than what you're experiencing now. So I looked at it, I spoke with my husband, and we're just like, do you know what? Let's not kid ourselves. Let's just get the epidural. So I had the epidural, and then they, put the Syntocin drip inside, and so then I started contracting. I could feel it a tiny bit because obviously I was on the epidural, and then her heart rate started going down.
Again.
Huh?
Again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Her heart rate started going down again.
Sorry.
So then they stopped the drip, and then they wanted her heart rate to stabilise. So it stabilised, and then they put me back on the drip, and then her heart rate started going down again. And then
It must have been
It's quite a common thing when you get induced, I think.
because
Yeah.
that actually happened with Ava when they quickened my contractions. Her heart rate started to drop, so they had to take me off the drip again.
Yeah.
And yours.
Yeah. So they stopped the drip, and then when when they stopped the drip, her heart rate kept going down, and it didn't stop. So they literally they just rushed me in for an emergency C-section. And then 12:30, she was here. And then with C-section babies, they don't really cry straight away because I think they still have some stuff in their nose and stuff. But so I was like, bro, why is she not crying?
Oh my god, the same thing happened with me. Ava didn't cry. She was a bit distressed.
Yeah.
When I
was like, can you go and check what's like? Why is she not crying? Yeah. Why is she not crying? And then she cried. Yeah. And then hallelujah.
So, ladies, how has motherhood changed you?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't like
We've only got 2 what's left.
First.
You go first,
because you're sitting in the first.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I've actually done a video on this, guys.
We'll put the link in below.
Insert link.
The way I think it's changed me, I think I mentioned earlier on that, like, before I had Ava, like, I never had, like, longings to be a mother. Like, and it's funny because I always knew I'd be a mum. Like, it wasn't like I didn't want kids. Like, I knew I would have kids eventually, but I wasn't one of those that, I never really got broody. Like, I would go for kids, like, namings and, like, baby showers, and I would give the best gifts. and I'd hold the kid and all sorts, but I never left thinking, oh, we should have one. Like it wasn't like that for me, and people around me felt the same. Like, you're not really like maternal. So for me, I still kind of feel like I'm not. I don't really feel like I've now turned into some overly maternal. I don't feel like it's changed me in that way, but I feel like I'm a little bit more sensitive, because I know we laugh all the time that I'm really blunt and to the point, and I do think that being a mum has made me a little bit more like sensitive, a bit more flexible, and it has made me more, because the way I show love is by the way I do what I do for people.
Yeah.
I'm not an overly affectionate person. Like I'm not really into PD. I don't really hold hands and stuff like that. So, but I think with Ava, I'm forever sharing her with all sorts of kids. Like, I'm so affectionate with Ava, and I feel like it's changed me in the way that being affectionate is not that bad.
No.
Like I'm not that uncomfortable with it. Whereas I think before I was a bit more uncomfortable being affectionate. Now, because I don't want Ava to see me being uncomfortable with showing affection, because I feel that kids need to see, you know, not only affection with their parents, but just in general. So I'm a bit more aware of like being affectionate and being loving and saying I love you and stuff like that, and not just like doing things for people, but actually saying it. So I think in that way it's changed me. But other than that, I don't think it's like changed me completely. I think it's made me a better person. Really. I mean, I know I've spoken a lot and just said it hasn't changed me, but yeah, I just think it's just made me a bit more loving and a bit more less afraid to show my vulnerable side. I think that's a roundabout way.
Okay, yeah. So for me, I think it's made me, I guess, more aware of just what matters in life. I think I wasn't necessarily like selfish before, but I think now it's just like everything I do, it's just got more purpose. So I know that I'm doing this for my kids. And yeah, it's just made me aware of what's important. Like, my priorities have just changed. Everything's just changed. Like, I don't care about, you know, going out with my friends. To be fair, it's maybe gone a bit too far, because there's times when maybe me and my partner should be going out, or like he'll say, let's go somewhere, and I'll be like, oh no, I don't want to, because I just can't be bothered, or I'm tired, or I'm just like, oh, I can't be bothered to go into childcare for the girls or whatever. I'd rather just be here with them and just, you know, make it all easy. So in that sense, I guess it's not good, because you do have to find a happy medium. You can't just be, you know, oh, mummy all the time, and go into boring mode, because it's very easy to do that. It's very easy to just stay at home, be a homebody, not, you know, and just do everything with the kids. But yeah, I think just priorities, I guess, and I think maybe a little less, not angry. I wasn't an angry person before, but I think I just was. I was quick to anger. I was quick to anger, and I think now I've got a bit more patience, because I have to. So yeah, because, you know, with two of them especially, I'm telling them, you know, not to fight and not to get angry at each other. So I need to be showing that as well. But it's difficult, but I think it has made me a bit more patient as well. So yeah, I think that's about it, really.
Yeah, you kind of just stole both.
Sorry.
Like, literally. Honestly, for me, it's just the fact that I've just realised how selfish and self-absorbed I was, you know,
It's a bit harsh.
No.
Call yourself self-absorbed.
Yeah. Trust me.
I don't think you were self-absorbed.
Neither do I. I don't think you were self-absorbed.
No, I don't think you were self-absorbed. I mean, that's what you want to
the level.
But I don't think you were.
I was self-absorbed, as in, like, you people weren't in my head, so that's why you did. No, honestly, because sometimes you can put up a front and people see that side of you, but they don't know what's actually going on in your mind and in your heart. And for me personally, I was very self-absorbed, and I was very selfish, and I would think about myself, you know, more than I would think about other people. And yeah, so having a child, you have no time to think about yourself. Literally, like, there's times where, you know, we're going out and my daughter looks so cute. You know, she has a really nice dress, her hair's done, and I've just probably done my eyebrows, packed my hair up in a bun, and I have a t-shirt and jeans on. There's no time to, like, just for me anyways, there's no time to, like, literally sort yourself out, because if you end up trying to sort yourself out to, you know, to look fleeky all the time, you're just not going to leave the house, and there's no point in doing that. So I've become less selfish, and patience. Oh my goodness. Anyone that knows me knows that I get irritated so quickly, and So and it's like it's not even like it's like a slight change. It's like from one extreme, one end to the other. So I think for now, like having my daughter, it's just kind of made me realize that no, I can't just switch like that. You have to like be patient. You know, she's a child, she's a baby, she doesn't know what she's doing most of the time. You know, and you need to like, it's not every day like, you know, just be quick and like, oh, don't do this. No, you need to explain, even though she may not understand fully, but she understands that you're explaining something to her and she needs to listen. So, you know, patience and the selfishness, yeah, for me is what has really changed.
I think when you first have a kid, you have to like, I think it takes time to start understanding that no, you're not being selfish.
Yeah,
you have to find that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just have to find that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think when you first have a kid, you're so obsessed with the idea that my life doesn't matter anymore. It's all about you. And then you go through like the stages of actually understanding that no, like your life doesn't actually stop. But you know, just complement each other. Like, and I think I've gotten to that point now where I'm not so much like obsessed with the idea of not being self. Like,
Yes.
you know, you're allowed some treats and stuff. So, but yeah, motherhood, like anyone that's needs to change it does. And we're lucky that it changed us for the better.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Yes, definitely.
So, after your experiences with your pregnancy, your labour, with motherhood so far, how many children do you guys plan on having?
I still want 6.
What piece of advice do you have for a new mum?
Sorry,